Oh, don't you dare. This young man thinks that that is the hatch. Uninstall!
Welcome to a Rainbow Six Siege documentary. In anthropological terms.
To Rainbow Six Siege, a game that has captivated players since its release on December 1, 2015, by Ubisoft. This tactical shooter stands out for its focus on strategy, teamwork, and precision. In Siege, the players take on roles from various counterterrorism units, each with unique gadgets and skills. Adaptability and cooperation are key to success. Rooted in the late 1990s and inspired by Tom Clancy, the Rainbow Six series evolved into Siege, focusing on multiplayer gameplay and setting a new standard for tactical shooters.
So, talking in anthropological terms, Rainbow Six has a lot of to do with the gaming community because this game is based on the communication and the behavior of the players. So, why the communication? Because during the match, you have the ability to communicate with other players in order to have a solid strategy with the match. But during this communication, there's gonna be some misunderstandings, causing like between teammates they start to fight with verbal conflict and other type of behaviors. But another thing that in this community happens is that the power that you have in this game determines your importance in this system. Because if you're a veteran on this game, some people there is gonna think about that you already experienced most of the situations and you suppose know how to face it. But also there's gonna be some new players, people or newbies who like by the perspective of other players, they're gonna think about that you are not you don't have the enough experience in order to win a match, and like that your ideas are not clearly satisfy the desires of other people.
Explaining like why is it important to conduct this research is that we wanted to look into how people in the R6 community interacted with each other. So this means looking at how players make friends, set their own social rules, and create their identities in the game. Also to understand the cultural trends, values, and norms within this community. This includes seeing how the game shows and influences ideas about conflict, teamwork, and any other social behaviors. Delving deeper, the main idea of this research is to understand R6 as a cultural community. We want to do this by looking at its cultural, social, and economic or technological uh, sides, and the research aims to show how digital media like video games connect with society in complex ways.
So the background of shooting games is very interesting because all this type of gaming starts with the game of Doom or Halo, but also Counter Strike, where the shooting games engage the younger persons by giving them dopamine by using stress situations, but also the fact that you are shooting a gun in a game with no consequence in the real life. It gives the player some satisfactions, but also some happiness or
Six Siege is more than just a game. It's a global phenomenon with a community that's as dynamic and intense as the game itself. Released by Ubisoft in 2015, Siege has grown into one of the most popular and competitive tactical shooters in the world. But with this high level of competition comes a range of community experiences. The Siege community is diverse, encompassing players of all skill levels and backgrounds. At its core, this community thrives on strategy, teamwork, and the thrill of tactical gameplay. In the upper echelons of Siege, where professional players or high-level competitors face off, the stakes are incredibly high. Pride, reputation, and substantial prize money are on the line with every match they play. This intense competition can sometimes lead to a more toxic environment where the pressure to perform fuels heated exchanges and conflicts. However, it's important to recognize that not all of the Siege community is defined by this toxicity. New players who are just stepping into the world of Siege bring a fresh and enthusiastic energy to the game. For them, the focus is on learning, having fun, and discovering the deep strategies that make Siege unique and fun. While while competitiveness can lead to toxic behavior, many parts of the community work hard to foster a positive and welcoming environment. Siege hosts multiple competitive tournaments, both through official esports leagues and events organized by famous streamers and influencers. These tournaments often come with a big prize pool, attracting top tier talent from around the globe. The involvement of big money and the participation of renowned streamers and players generate immense hype and elevate the game's competitive nature to new heights. However, this high level of uh, this high level of competition brings with it significant societal impacts. The pressure to win can lead to increased toxicity among players. The fierce desire to outperform opponents often result in heated exchanges and conflicts both in and out of the game. The competitive environment doesn't just affect the players. The audience, deeply invested in their favorite teams and players, can also exhibit polarized behavior. Fans Fans passionately support their teams, sometimes leading to intense rivalries and conflicts within the community of R6.
Let's see what the R6 players tell us.
Okay, so Fabio, to what extent do you think having power within the Rainbow Six community influences how other players perceive you?
I think within having knowledge, perspective, and such view within the game, such as game knowledge or just skill inside the game, gives you much more power, such as respect from other players. But also because of the community's toxicity, it's also looked as not such of an envy way, but such as a negative jealousy way.
Interesting.
Do social relationships affect players' motivation and engagement in Rainbow Six?
Well, given that it's a really um, teamwork-based game, I think that it improves the gaming experience and also improves how you perform well, while you're playing the game.
Okay, I got you.
Society's perception of video games affect the public image of Rainbow Six and its players?
So this is a good question. So a lot of people think that Rainbow Six Siege is not a very competitive player base in terms of other games like CS:GO and Rocket League. But when you consider to the aspects of how the game is growing really quick. So usually how people will perceive the game will be as very fun, annoying, and rageful, pretty much. And I can relate to those people.
Understandable.
How's the identity of a veteran player compared to a newbie perceived within the Rainbow Six community?
Well, when you see a veteran player, you can see that he clearly has played for a long time and knows what he's talking about or what he's trying to do, compared to a newbie who's just trying to learn the game and may think it will be easy to learn since there are so many shooter games. However, this is a different game, a very different game from other games like, for example, Call of Duty, that well may have certain mistakes by
Advantages to do this game has on players that it gives players better thinking skills. So this means that players learn to plan and make quick decisions during the game, and also it helps them focus on the game, which helps them concentrate. It also improves their teamwork and social skills by communicating. Players during the game can practice different ways of communicating with other players. It also enhances a collaboration skill since, well, working with a team gives a sense of belonging. Also, it's a good way of making friends and socialize since players can meet new people and form friendships. Also, it has emotional benefits since playing helps reduce stress and it also has some kind of achievement and relief, since winning and improving the game also improves an individual's self-esteem. Advantages of this game that it has some players that is firstly it is time consuming, so it creates an addiction, since well the game can be highly addictive, leading to players spend a lot of time playing without them even noticing. It also players deny their usual responsibilities they have in the real world. So players may not want to go to school or work or do their personal responsibilities due to wanting to play. It also causes stress and frustration, since well there's a competitive nature in the game which can cause stress and high pressure. It also, the interactions with other players can sometimes be abusive, leading to emotional distress, which causes a toxic behavior. And finally, there's physical and health issues regarding playing long hours of gameplay. And finally, there's a lack of physical exercise, since spending too much time playing can reduce time for physical activities.
Power within the Rainbow Six Siege community is multifaceted, influencing how the game is perceived, played, and enjoyed. Influencers and content creators hold significant sway. Streamers and YouTubers shape opinions, teach tactics, and drive trends. Their content not only entertains but sets community norms and expectations, making them central figures in the Siege world. Six Siege, a player's identity is deeply connected to their skill level and ranking. Ranks like Copper, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, and Champions serve as key identifiers, highlighting a player's proficiency and dedication. Achieving higher ranks brings prestige and respect, solidifying a player's identity as a skilled gamer. Being part of a higher ranking clan or professional team further shapes a player's identity. Team dynamics, leadership roles, and collaborative strategies define an individual's role and status within the team and the broader Siege community. Professional players often become prominent figures, their identities closely linked to their competitive success and team affiliations. Influencers such as streamers and YouTubers craft their identities through the content they produce. Their playstyle, personality, and thematic focus, whether educational, entertaining, or strategic, create unique identities within the community. These content creators become role models and trendsetters, influencing how others shape their own identities.
Results, what I understood from these is that R6 as a community is a complex social group in which players can make friends, set rules, and create their identities within the game, of course. The game shapes and reflects cultural trends and values, influencing how players view conflict and teamwork in a different perspective. This research shows how R6 interacts with society and plays a significant role as a cultural community.
So reflecting on these results, it's it's interesting how how the power that you have from Rainbow Six determines how you are in the real life, because by being a new player, you don't have like the confidence to talk about this game, or you are not going to have the same experience that other teammates, so that's gonna limit your perspectives of another players, but also you have the ability to learn from another ones. In the case of the veteran ones, they show more confidence with another persons in the real life, because they already know like their status during this game, so they can show like this confidence to another ones.
Muchas gracias por su atención.